So today's project is also related to event objects, and I hope you guys know what event objects are. So would you mind recalling the event objects? What are event objects? Can you guys hear me? What are event objects?
It's like dealing with the keys,
Just the keys?
uh, the functions.
The properties.
Properties of what? So basically, event object is
Event.
an yes, event object is an object that gets returned once you perform an event, and that event can be anything. It can be a key press, it can be a click, like it can be any event. Okay, it doesn't. It's not binded to just keyboards. It's just any event. Okay, so event object is an information that you get after performing a certain event. Okay, so today's topic is an interview question, and wait, let me first draw what we want to do. Okay, so what we want to do is, let me get the brush, the big size. Okay, so what we want to do is, the interview question is, wherever I click on my screen, I want to draw a circle there. Like it doesn't matter which point I'm clicking on, I want to draw a circle at the point I am clicking on the screen, anywhere on the screen. Okay, so this is the question, and it's kind of like a complicated and an advanced JavaScript question. So what are we going to do is, first we let's break down this problem. Do you guys get the question? Like whenever I click anywhere on my screen, I want to draw a circle. Is the problem cleared?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what we want to do today is, let me first name it. Let's name create circles dot html. Let's create a boilerplate. We don't want anything to do in the body except the script tag. Let me make it go live. And yeah, perfect. Let me open the console as well so we can see the output. Okay, so what do you think, where do you think we want to put our event listener on? Like I want to click anywhere on the body, like it doesn't matter where, anywhere on the body. So what is going to be my target?
Windows.
Window, very good. So we are just going to say window dot and then very good, add event listener, and we want to have an event listener of what? Wherever I do what? Click. Good. So wherever I click, I want to perform an event, a function, and let's say I'm just going to give an alert, and let's say it's gonna say click. It's working perfect. Anywhere I click, I get the alert. So the event listener is perfectly set up. Now tell me, what do you think a circle is in HTML? What is a circle? Is circle a thing in HTML? How do we draw a circle in HTML? Clip path of what? Like how do we create a circle? Like if I were to ask you guys create a circle in HTML, how would you do it? Like give me each steps.
Like the border radius,
Border radius of what? You are giving me the third and second steps, third and fourth steps. What is the first step to draw a circle? Very good. You have to create a div. Okay, this is what we want to do on every click. Like whenever I click on the screen, I want to create a div. Okay, now this is quite interesting. This is our first topic today. So the topic is, how do we create elements using JavaScript? Like up until this point we were just doing like div and maybe let's say h2 or h1. This is what we used to do, and this was the manual process, like it was a static process. This time we want to do what? we want to create divs or any elements in HTML using JavaScript. Like we want to create dynamically. So how do we do that? It's quite easy. So inside the event listener, inside the click, I'm going to take a variable. Let's call it circle. And then where are all the elements created? Where do we create all the elements? Come on, it's a simple question. Where do we create all the elements? Like in our code, at which point do we create an element? Inside. Yeah, body. Yeah, good. Inside the body, and body is located where? Inside the HTML. Good. So each element is created inside an HTML, and this is what we have to tell our JavaScript. So what is HTML referred in JavaScript? What is HTML referred in JavaScript? Like what is the name? Document. Good. So I'm gonna say document, okay, and then this time it's gonna be a different function, a totally new function. What do we want to do? We want to create an element. Yes, we want to create a div. So what I'm going to say is document dot create element. It's a built-in function. Okay, since it's a function, we would have parentheses here. And which element do we want to create? Div. So inside the quotation marks, I'm going to say div. And this is how you create an element using JavaScript. That's it. Okay. So we have one more step that's remaining. Okay. So elements are created inside HTML. Okay. But where are elements rendered? Like where do we see the elements? Inside a specific tag. Which tag is it? Elements are created inside the HTML, but they are rendered, they are shown inside which tag? Like where do we create div or heading or paragraphs? In which tag? In body. Good. So basically elements are created in HTML, but they are rendered, they are shown, they are executed inside the body tag. So this is what we have to tell to a JavaScript, that I'm creating an element in HTML, but now I want you to put this element inside the body. So how can we do that? It's again really simple. So I'm gonna say document and then get me the body inside the document. So document dot body, and then we have a function called appendChild. So what does append mean? What does append refers to? Yeah, kind of like connection or adding. Appending is basically referring to adding something. So what we are doing is we are asking to get the document, that is our HTML, and inside the document we have the body, and inside the body we are saying I want you to put a child inside the body. So this append child is a built-in function that is used to put something inside something else. Okay, so it's a function. So what do we want to put inside the body? A circle. Good. This is a variable, this circle. So I'm gonna say circle and save it. Now that's it. That's how we create an element and put it inside the body. So let me go back in my HTML, and you guys would see clearly here that whenever I click, can you see a div is being created on every click? Is it visible? Okay, great. So I'm gonna do it one more time, and this time you guys are going to dictate me everything. So what do we want to do? We want to create balls inside the HTML wherever I click. Okay, inside the body wherever I click. So for that, what do I need? I need to create elements using JavaScript. And how do I create elements using JavaScript? Using which function? Which function is used to create elements using JavaScript? I'm literally saying. Yeah, exactly. Good. So when do I want to create the element? When do I want to create the elements? Very good. When we click on the body, so I want to target all of the body. So how do we target body in JavaScript? I'm not going to write anything, you have to dictate me. So how do we target body in JavaScript? Using, no, not the body. When we want to apply the functionality, window. Good. So window, and then dot add event listener. Event listener of what? Event listener of what? What do we want to listen for? Click. Good. Good. And the function. So what do we want to do? We want to create a new element. So I'm going to say let ball. This time I'm going to say ball. So let's make a variable ball. Like I want to create a variable with the name of ball on every click, and I want to create element using JavaScript. So how do we create an element? You guys have told just now. Document. Good. And then very good. Create element. So which element do we want to create? What is a ball? Yeah, a div. Element is a div. Okay. So after creating the element, I want this element to be appended to this body, to be added to this body tag. So how can we do that? First I need to get the body. So how do I get the body? I'm going to say document dot body. This is going to get me the body, and then after getting the body, I'm going to say that you have to add the ball inside this body. So what is the built-in function that is going to do that? Very good. Append child. Okay, so again this is a built-in function. You guys are going to memorize it yourself. You don't have to do it manually. Okay, so it's a function. So when we write appendChild, so we're basically adding the ball to the body. Exactly. Perfect. Okay. For example, if I were to do this, let's say I'm going to make a container. Okay, I'm going to make a div with the name of container, and I'm going to get this container inside my JavaScript. How? Let's say I'm going to say let container is equals to document.createSelector and then container. So how would I add this ball inside the container div? What do you think? How can I add this ball inside the container?
Like container
Very
dot
good. This is the container. The container is holding the
yeah
actual element. So I'm going to say container and then
dot append child.
dot
Append.
append
Okay.
child. Perfect.
So that would add it inside the container because
Yes.
it's an attachment, the append
Exactly.
child.
Exactly like that.
Okay.
So this append child is going to append anything that is before that append child function. Okay, it's going to append that to that specific thing. But this time we want to append it to the body because we want to see it everywhere. So I'm going to say document dot body, or maybe let's take a variable and put it inside the variable. So I'm going to say I'm going to take a variable, and how do we get the body inside JavaScript? How do we get the body inside the JavaScript? Like what is the function to get elements from HTML into JavaScript?
Like document
Very good. Document dot and then
query selector.
yeah query selector, and then we can say body. Okay, this is going to get me the body. So now we want to append this ball inside the body. So what is the line I have to write? What is the line? What is the line of code I have to write? So I'm going to say body dot and then
Append
very good
child.
append child. And which child do we want to append? The ball.
The
So
ball.
that's it. Let's see. Yeah, it's appending div on every key press. Perfect. Now let us style it so we can see it. So I'm going to put a style. Since we don't have anything else, so we can directly target the div. Let's say width is going to be 40 pixels, height is also 40 pixels, background red, and let's make a border radius of 50%. Now if I were to click, you guys are gonna see ball on every click. Okay, first phase is done. We are creating elements using our click event. Okay, this was our first phase, like creating the element. Now the second phase is going to be, I want my element to be placed precisely where I click with my mouse. Okay, do you have any questions about the first phase, like creating the elements?
No.
Okay, do you have any questions about the second problem we have, like we want our balls to be displayed where we click? Any problem with the problem? Any questions about the
अच्छा
problem?
सर ये जो div है इसको क्लास का नाम कोई दे सकते हैं कि
Yes,
आपने तो
yes, yes, we can do that. How can we do that? We can simply say ball dot, and then we can say, let's say ball dot, and then there was a function ball dot class list. Okay, this class list is going to give me the classes of this ball. Okay, so I'm going to say
okay.
ball dot class list dot add. Okay, this add is going to do what? Is going to add the class we want to do. So give me any name, let's say ball maybe. So this time it's going to create a div, but this div is going to have a class of
ball
ball.
ball okay.
Okay, we can do that.
सर
So
स्टाइल में फिर जाके क्लास अभी आपने div किया ना सिर्फ
yeah,
तो
yes,
क्लास
yes,
अगर बॉल का करेंगे तो हो जाएगा ना वो
exactly,
जिस
we
तरह
can
का
do this. We can do ball, so it's still going to do the same results.
ओ
Okay,
ओके
this is going to be our project inshallah in the later projects. Okay,
ओके
where we target the
ओके थैंक
classes, but let's stick with the simpler phase first. Okay, so perfect, now we have the balls. Now the second phase is, we want to make our balls go where our click is happening. So this one is quite advanced and quite complex. So who is going to tell me where my mouse is being clicked? Take a guess. Take a guess, who's going to tell me where my click is being processed?
विंडो और इवेंट
Event object. Good.
इवेंट ऑब्जेक्ट
So we want the coordinates of the click. So basically the information of this click is being stored somewhere. And where is it going to be stored in?
इन
In
फंक्शन
yeah, and that is called, what is it called?
इवेंट ऑब्जेक्ट
Very good, event object. So how can we access the event object?
डॉट
No, no, no. First we want to get the event object, and then we have to access the information inside the event object.
इन parenthesis
Very
सर
good.
वो
We can take a
ई और
parameter.
इवेंट
Good. We can take
पैराम
e or whatever you want. It doesn't have to be e specifically. You can take whatever you want, but again, this is the standard practice. Okay, e. Now this e has a lot of information. In fact, all of the information that this click is assigning. So let's see what information do we have. So I'm going to say console.log e. So let me click. Now this has a lot of information, like a lot. Okay, if we were to expand this, you would have like hundreds of information about just for this click. Okay, just for this click you have like hundreds of information. So all of this information is quite irrelevant. What do you think we would need in order to get the coordinates? Can you see anything that is telling us the coordinates? I want you to go through all of these keys and tell me which thing is telling me the coordinates.
client X and
Very
client
good.
Y sir.
Client X and client Y. Also, layer X and layer Y. Also,
Y
page X and page Y.
page
All
Y
of these keys are telling me the exact coordinates of my click. For example, if I were to click on the top left corner, it should say 0, 0. I'm
yeah
out of the window. Yeah. So now it's saying do what? 0, 0, because
zero
I am
zero
actually at the top left corner of the window. So the x-axis, the pixels from x-axis is 0, the pixels from y-axis is 0. So this thing is telling me the exact coordinates of my click. So how do we access these client X and client Y? How do we do that?
like e dot client X
Very good,
and e
very
dot
good,
client
perfect. We can say e dot clientX, this is going to get me the X position, comma, and then we can say E dot clientY. Let's see what this gives us. So anywhere I click, what is it giving me?
Coordinates.
Very good. The coordinates of the x-axis and the y-axis. Now we want our ball to be positioned at these coordinates, because these coordinates are where my click is happening. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to store these inside a variable. So I'm going to say let x is equals to e dot client x. And what about y? What do you think we would do with y?
Let y equal to e
Very good.
dot client.
Let y is equals to e dot client
Client y.
y. Perfect. Now we have both the coordinates. We have the x, we have the y. Now we want this ball to be positioned precisely on these axes, on these coordinates. How can we do that? I'm not going to do this. You have to do it. The first thing we should do is I'm going to put a position of
Wow.
absolute. Okay, why is that? Because we don't want any.
So we're when we're putting them on the y and x axis, we're using e client x and e client y.
Exactly. This is going to get me the
So that's how
coordinates.
we're plugging it in.
We have to plug it in. At the moment we haven't plugged it in. This is just giving me the coordinates of my click. Now we have to plug these coordinates inside this ball. We have to do this
Mm-hmm.
now. So how can we do that?
And
Oh, okay. What I was saying is I've given it the position of absolute so that it doesn't interfere with any other element. Okay. So okay. So now tell me, how can we do that? How can we make these coordinates go inside this ball? Come on, it's kind of simple. What do we want to change with this ball, by the way? Which property do we want to change of this ball so that it should be displayed here or here or here? Which property should we change? Like for example, let me give you a hint. I'm gonna say I want you to be 50% from the left. Now where is this going to be displayed? Where is this ball going to be displayed?
Windows.
50% from the
The
left.
left,
Left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if I were to do this, top, let's say 40%. Where is this going to be displayed?
the top.
Very good. Top 40% from the top and 50% from the left. Yes. But now we want these left and top to be dynamic. Do we have the dynamic values of x and y?
Yeah.
Yes. So we can just assign these x and y values to the left and top of this ball. Now you have to tell me how can we do that.
Oh, okay. Um, so ball dot position dot
Very
left.
good. Ball dot, and how do we target the position? Position is inside the
Oh,
style.
style.
So ball
Style.
dot,
Yeah.
style dot,
Style dot
and then
left
left, perfect, is equals to
equal
what?
to x.
X.
X axis हो गया sir. Okay.
X axis is done, good, but it's not going to work. Why is that? Because we have to put pixels with it as well.
Oh,
Now pixels is a
concatenate. Okay.
string, this is a
Yeah.
variable. How do we join strings and variables?
Uh, backticks.
Very good. Backticks, and then now we want to write x first. How do we write the variable inside the backticks?
Curly brackets.
No, before the curly brackets we have something else.
Dollar.
Very good. Dollar, and
Um,
then curly braces. Now we want to put x first, and after the x we want to add px. Perfect. Now the x part is done. Look, wherever I click it, basically the x
mm-hmm.
axis is done. Now let's do the same thing with y as well. How can we do that?
Ball dot
Ball dot
style
style
dot
dot
top.
top, very good, is equals to, then
Backticks.
backticks, perfect, and then
Dollar
dollar
y
curly braces y, and then outside this curly braces we have
x.
px. Perfect. Now wherever I click, I have this ball being made. In fact, let's make it more interesting. We can create a star as well. How can we do that? Like wherever I click, I want a star to be created. How can we do that?
And the shape from clip path.
Very good. From Clippy. So let's get the star. I don't know why, but my internet is acting up. Come on. Okay, we can wait as this website is loading. Okay, so this is how you basically create elements with JavaScript. So if you were to get this, congratulations, you basically pass one of the advanced interview questions. And if you don't, you have to watch at least 2 to 3 times this video. Okay, so this is the code in front of you. If you have any questions about any line of code, you have to ask. So any problem with this setup? Because this setup is going to be implemented when we are going to basically fetch data from the backend. So it has to do a lot of stuff with this setup we have made. So any
अच्छा
questions?
सर, ये इसकी पोजीशन को एब्सोल्यूट, अगर एब्सोल्यूट ना करें इसकी पोजीशन,
Good question.
तो फिर क्या होगा सर?
Very good. What would happen if we were to remove this position absolute? So this position absolute ensures that it should be displayed wherever we want. Let me remove this. So if we don't do this positions, it's not going to take that left and top properties, because left and top is only accessible when you have the positions applied. Look, this is what's
Oh,
going to happen. Okay, top
okay.
top and left is only going to be applied if you have the position applied on that specific div. Okay, so you have to apply positions in order to get it to be displayed wherever you want it to be. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
we I think with the star is ready. So if we were to copy it inside that div, so we would
Oh.
have a star being made wherever we click. Okay. Okay, so this was quite
I have a
interesting.
question.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like more of an advanced question, but like you know how you're changing the stars as they're moving because of the positions we gave.
Okay.
Would we be able to like change their colors as they're moving?
That's a really good point. We want to change the colors as well as we click. Like this is the question, right? Every click should have a
Yeah.
different star color. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
Yep.
really good improvement. Let's do this. So first, let us break the problem. You want to have different color or on every click, right? So
Yep.
this kind of project we already did it. Do you guys remember the project where we have the simple color generator we had, where we were generating colors on every
Yep.
click? So this is this is the same logic we are going to apply. So first I need to have a lot of colors. So what do you think we would do if we want to have a lot of colors?
Create an array.
Very good. We are going to create an array. So I'm going to say let colors is equals to, yeah, I think these colors are good. Plus we can do more colors. This AI is going to give us a lot of colors, and that's really good. And I think these are enough. So what we want to do is on every click I want these colors to be implemented one by one. Okay, so how can we do that? It's quite simple. So if we were to say ball dot style dot and then background color is equals to, and let's say if I were to say colors and then 4, which color is going to be implemented?
Yellow.
Purple.
Purple,
Purple.
because
One,
indexes
two,
start
three,
from 0,
four.
0,
Oh
1, 2,
yes.
3, 4.
Purple.
So now we have a purple star. If we were to do this, let's say 1, what do we have?
Uh,
Blue.
Blue. Perfect. But now we want it to have to be dynamic. Okay, we want it to be dynamic. There are two ways. One way is quite simple, second one is quite interesting. Let's do the simple one first. So we want this index to be changed on every click. We want to change it on every click. What should we do?
for loop.
No, loop is going to be executed all at once. We want to change it as I
Oh,
click. This is a static value. Static value cannot be changed. What can be changed? Look,
dynamic.
so let's say I'm going to take a variable with the name of, let's say, num. That is going to be 0 by default. Variables can be changed. Okay, so I'm taking a variable with the name of num, and inside the brackets I'm going to put num here.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
And num plus plus.
very good. So num has the value of 0. So basically what's happening is it's going to go to inside the colors variable and it's going to access the num value, and num is what? 0. So which color am I going to get? Red.
Red.
If I were to change this num from 0 to 1, it's going to get me blue. Similarly to 2 is going to get me green. But this we want to do dynamically. So every time I click on my window, I want this num to be increased by 1. How can we do that?
Num plus plus.
Num plus plus. Perfect. So I'm going to click. Which color am I going to get? I want you to think before answering.
Blue.
Blue. Good. Why?
Because num plus plus.
Exactly. Because it's incremented first and then it's assigned. So I want to see the red as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this from here to last, so that this num should have a 0 value first and then it is incremented to 1. So let's see now. So every time I click, I would have a different value, but there would come a time when it is not changing anymore. Why is that?
Yeah, just like we did with the counter, like
Exactly.
by one, right?
Exactly.
Each
Perfect.
click.
Yes. So but we want now the problem is that it's basically stuck on one color. Why is that? First tell me the problem, then we can get the solution. Very good, because the indexes are finished. So what we want to do is when it reaches the last index, we want to move it back to the first index. How can we do that? Very good. If condition. So if I'm going to say if the value of num is greater than what? So we
Array
have,
dot length.
very good. We want to get the length of this color. So I'm going to say colors dot length. But there's a problem. That problem is indexes start from 0 and length starts from 1. We want the num and the length to be matched. So what can we do?
Minus one.
Very good. -1. So when it reaches when the num reaches, if the value of num is greater than the colors dot length -1, referring to that index and length should match, I want my num to go back to 0. So now we would have colors differently. Let's make it more interesting. Instead of click, I'm gonna say mouse move. So this time it's gonna give me stars as I move my mouse. Okay, so yeah, that looks kind of interesting. Okay, so let's do an interesting way of doing this.
माउस मूव के बाद वो कोई टाइमर लगा देना कि इतने सेकंड बाद स्टार करने.
Yeah, we can do that. So the star should be implemented after some time. That's a really good again improvement. So I'm gonna put all of this logic inside what? Which timing functions have we discussed? Have we discussed about timing functions? Very good. So tell me about the timing function. Which timing function are we going to implement? Set timeout or set interval?
Set interval.
Set interval is going to be executed every time. I just want to execute it only once.
Timeout.
Set timeout. So I'm going to say set timeout. It's a function that is going to take another function. And I'm going to put all of the logic inside here. And I want the second parameter is going to be the time it needs to take to perform this function. So I'm going to say, let's say 500. That is, after 500 milliseconds, this function is going to be performed. So let's see. Now this is quite interesting. Okay, so basically it's following me after the 500 milliseconds cap. Okay, let's move the timeout first, because this is kind of, you can say, it's making things difficult. Okay, yeah. Now it looks good. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to have, at the moment we are progressing sequentially, like first is going to be red color, then blue color, then green color, and so on. What now we want to do is I want to choose a random color out of these colors. Like a color should be chosen randomly. So do you guys remember the function we studied about? The I think in the Ludo game we have discussed about this.
Into math.
Very good. Math dot random. So basically what we want to have is I want to have a random number. As I click on my window, I want to generate a random number on every click. So how can we do that? It's quite simple. I'm going to say let num and then math dot random. Okay, but this math dot random is going to get me the values from 0 to 1. We don't want to have values from 0 to 1. We want to have values from where to where.
0 to 12.
Very good. 0 to 0, 1 to. I don't have to manually count it. I can simply multiply it with what? Colors dot length. But this is going to get me the values in decimal numbers. Look, console.log num is going to get me the decimal numbers. We don't want to have decimal numbers. We want to have fixed numbers. So what can we do? We have studied three functions, and I guess you have forgotten all three of them. So the functions were, we had floor, we had random, and then we had seal. Does that ring any bells?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what does floor do? If we have, let's say, 2.7, what is it going to round off it to?
2.
2. Good. If we have 2.5 here, what is random going to do? Sorry, not random, it was round.
3.
3. Good. But if we have 2.4, what then?
2.
2. Good. What about seal? If we have 2.1, what is it going to do?
3.
3. Good. It's always make it go to the next number. So out of these three, which one do we need? If we were to go with round, for example, if we had, let's say,
I think the floor.
if we had, let's say, mm, 11.6, if we had 11.6, what is this function going to do?
12. Make
12.
it 12.
So do we have a 12th index here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 13 values. So let's say we have
14.
13.6. Let's say this returns me 13.6. What is it going to round off it to? 14.
14.
So do we have a 14th index here?
No, sir.
No. So it's going to give me an error. So we don't want that. So which thing should we opt for? Round is not going to work. Seal is always going to get to this next index. We want to have floor. So if we had 13.6, it basically makes it go to the 13 previous index. So I'm gonna wrap up this num inside the math.floor. So I'm gonna say let random number, maybe whatever variable name you want, and then I want to floor this. So math.floor. What do I want to floor? Num. Okay, and inside these parentheses I'm going to have what? Random number, because this random number is going to have random numbers on every click. Let me console log it as well so you guys can see. So here you go, we have a random index popping up. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, if you don't have any questions, that's really good. This is your homework, plus there's another assignment, and that assignment is going to be, as I move my cursor, I want a ball. Let me create a ball here. Let's say mouse move. So let's say this is a ball. So as I move my cursor, I want this ball to follow me. Like I don't want to create elements on each mouse move. I want that ball to follow me wherever my mouse is going. Does the project makes? Yeah.
नहीं सर बॉल एक होगा और वो सिर्फ फॉलो करेगा कि मल्टीपल बॉल
No, no,
फॉलो
no.
करेंगे
It would be only one ball. Only one ball is going to follow your mouse.
और वो बॉल सर कब बनेगा जब क्लिक करेंगे कि
No, no,
मूव
no.
करेंगे
It would be already there, like when the website loads.
ओके ऑलरेडी होगा जब हम मूव करेंगे तो बस माउस को फॉलो करेगा
Yes, yes. And it should follow it smoothly. And as it moves, it should change its colors.
ओके
Okay. So that is your project. This one plus the ball one. Okay. So any,
ओके सर
if you don't have any questions, and I think you should have any questions about this. If you don't, that's really good. And if you do, please ask. I think you do. Yes, if you don't have any questions, you guys can leave, and inshallah we'll have a meeting tomorrow.
ओके
Okay,
थैंक
thank
यू
you.
थैंक यू
Allah Hafiz, Allah Hafiz, Allah Hafiz.